It is easy to assume that American history is a story told strictly above ground. We walk on solid pavement and look up at glass skylines, naturally assuming that urban progress only moves in one direction, up. But occasionally, the modern grid glitches. A section of asphalt gives way, and instead of dirt, you're staring down into a forgotten brick archway. Or maybe you notice a set of heavy, sealed iron doors hiding in the darkest corner of a century-old basement. These structural anomalies feed pervasive rumors in almost every major city. People whisper about interconnected smuggling labyrinths, secret societies meeting in the dark, and classified government ghost highways. It leads to an obvious question. Are these subterranean networks purely modern folklore, or is their physical history buried just a few feet below the concrete? When we only look at what's above the pavement, we miss a physical record that has been deliberately bricked up and removed from public consciousness.
Take the early 20th century. As surface streets became tightly regulated and heavily policed during Prohibition, illicit commerce needed a place to hide. To survive, illegal enterprises literally dug deeper. Operating underground required intense paranoia. A reinforced door was a start, but if you couldn't be visually verified through a peephole, you weren't getting in. These spaces were rarely isolated basements. They connected to complex, hand-dug smuggling routes. If a raid happened, patrons and inventory needed a rapid, discreet path right out to an alleyway sewer grate. When law enforcement did manage to breach these spaces, they often found massive operations. This photograph shows police inspecting heavy, large-scale machinery, proving these illicit setups were highly industrialized. The evidence suggests that the earliest widespread underground networks in American cities weren't commissioned by civic planners. They were built by citizens actively working to subvert the law. But crime isn't the only reason cities was downward. By the late 19th century, urban centers were choking on surface-level horse and pedestrian traffic. Engineers looked for a way to bypass the congestion entirely. This technical image captures New York's beach pneumatic transit system, a radical experiment in subterranean engineering. Despite innovating with air pressure, political sabotage killed it. The ornate brickwork and cavernous space were simply walled off and left in the dark for decades. This pattern didn't stop in the 1800s. Even today, when modern rail budgets dry up or city planning routes pivot, massive concrete transit arteries are abandoned. They sit empty, slowly flooding and decaying under the weight of the city above. These subterranean ruins leave a clear physical record. The spaces beneath our feet are vulnerable to the shifting whims of urban development. What a city considers essential one decade is easily buried the next. By the mid-20th century, the motivation shifted. The invention of the atomic bomb moved the goal of tunneling toward survival. Cold War anxiety drove a massive wave of subterranean construction. The military designed deep continuity of government bunkers, while everyday citizens dug up their backyards to install private fallout shelters. This photograph shows there was nothing glamorous about these spaces. Utilitarian boxes packed with dense rations and bunk beds, designed for apocalyptic waiting. This era of tunneling left thousands of concrete time capsules in the earth. These spaces were stocked to preserve a desperate remnant of the present against total annihilation. When we return to the modern surface, the pavement feels a bit different. The documentary evidence reveals exactly what is resting beneath the concrete. We map this as an urban stratigraphy. Just below the crust are shallow, hand-dug Prohibition routes. Drop lower and you hit forgotten transit projects. Far below that, in the bedrock, rest Cold War bunkers. The legends of vast, connected ghost cities are likely exaggerated, but the physical existence of thousands of these fragmented, forgotten tunnels is a matter of historical record. American history is a layered physical landscape. Sometimes, to understand how a country evolved, you have to look past the skyline and start digging in the dark.